What's up, my friends? David Moss Jr. here, and in today's video, we are going to be setting up and reviewing the brand new Solara by SaunaBox. We have a lot to go over in this video, so let's jump right into it. And hey, after today's video, if you need a little bit more information about this product or you decide you want to buy one, I'll have links to it down in the description below. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is open up these little boxes. This looks like the red light therapy panel. So there's our bolts to install this, and this actually has its own red light therapy panel that'll mount to the door. And then inside here, got our handle, got some screws. This is for the red light panel if your eyes are sensitive, and here is the user manual. Step one is we're gonna install the base in the back wall, but I do wanna tell you how it came. It actually came in a very compact box. Of all the saunas that I've reviewed and opened and unboxed, this was actually one of the easiest, and I brought it on here. The reason I didn't get a chance to do a full unboxing part of this video is that there was a huge storm coming and you can't let these get wet. So when you do order this, make sure that the delivery driver puts it under a porch, under a cover, or you're gonna be home to accept it, because you do not want this sitting in your driveway getting riddled with water. It was saran wrapped, which was nice in case it did rain, but that only lasts a little bit. So make sure that these don't sit outside and soak up the rain. They're not meant to get wet. So here's step one. Step one, we're gonna take this, which is the base. You can tell because it has these little rubber little nips to sit on your floor, and we're gonna set it flat. There is a sign here that says seat door. So we're gonna take the back panel and we're gonna set it up back here, just behind it. What I do like about this is it's meant for compact, small spaces. So if you live in an apartment or you're gonna be moving around a lot, but you want your own sauna and you're looking for a full spectrum infrared sauna, this could be a great option. Once we have this entire thing built, I'm gonna test everything. We're gonna actually try it out, and I'm gonna measure it to make sure it's a good size for you, so you can see how big it is and how much space it's gonna need and how much room it's gonna require. But one of the things I really love about this is that it's easy to assemble and disassemble if you do need to move it. And the most important thing, it's plug and play. You can plug this right into any standard household outlet and you're gonna have yourself a sauna. That's pretty rare, and that's not a normal thing when it comes to a lot of the bigger saunas. The next step is we're gonna take the left wall and we're gonna attach it to the base in the back using the buckles. Here's a quick tip on how to figure out which side of the panel actually goes on the floor and which side goes to the roof, because this panel right here is actually the front door. And I was looking at it and I'm like, it looks identical any way you look at it. The only difference is on one side, you're gonna see these little plastic tips. That's what goes against the floor. So I can tell that this is the floor side. It's not always gonna be labeled, and even if there is labels, sometimes they fall off. But I wanted to point that out because I don't want you to accidentally put your sauna together upside down like some people probably have. Oh, it's actually really light. So on the back side here, you can see this is the rear wall. There's these buckles, and these buckles are gonna actually snap into the side wall. This entire thing just buckles together, so you don't have to use a lot of screws or nails for this. So I wanna show this is the groove this piece slides into. All right, I'm gonna bring this left side over here. It's always easier to do this with a friend, but I'm gonna show you how to do it without a friend. Kind of fits together like a little puzzle piece, and then you just take these buckles and you slide them together. Boom. Next step, I'm gonna take this other wall and slide this one in. And kind of the same thing. Going to just slide this piece in. There's like a little groove there. Once you get it lined up, you just, boom, it's going together super easy. Nice. Next, we're gonna take the floor, like calf heaters, and we're gonna slide it in here before we put the front on, because you wanna open this up. It literally just slides into, there's a spot that it literally fits right into. And you wanna make sure that you got it in there before you put the front on. And then you also wanna plug it in. So you're gonna plug in the heater. This is when you're gonna plug it in the bottom. Once we have the calf heater in, we're going to take our seat, and there's these two little rivets here. That actually goes towards the back, and there's these holes on the back side. That's where this is going to go. So let's go ahead and sit this in there. Once we have it plugged in, and it should just fit right. Should fit right into there. Perfect. And that's our bench. That's what we're gonna sit on. Don't sit on it yet though. So right now we don't have the top or the front on, and you can already see it's starting to take its shape. This is as much of a footprint as it's gonna take up. We don't have anything secure, so I don't wanna get too excited yet, but this is where you will sit. This is where I will sit. And I like that the heaters are already wrapping around everywhere my body is, and that is ideal for a sauna. So this is the heaviest piece that you're gonna be dealing with, and it's probably ideal to have somebody help you do it, especially if this is your first time putting a sauna together. I wanna see how easy this would be for somebody to do it all by themselves. I'm gonna put one side on first, but I also need to cut the strap. This is what's holding the door closed for shipping. We gotta get rid of all this stuff. It just slides right in there. All right, that side's in, line the side up, and it just pulls itself right together. That's so cool. Boom, and we're pretty much done. Like, that's it. So cool. If you haven't done so already, make sure you take all of your tape and everything that was on it from shipping and get it all removed, because when you heat up a sauna, you don't want tape and glues to heat up as well. The whole point to a sauna is getting healthier, and you don't want to heat up glues and different things like that. So take all of it off as you're putting this thing together and before your first use. So on the instructions, it says to do the roof first. I like putting the handle on the front door first, because I've accidentally locked myself out of a sauna before when I put the roof on first before the door handle, because the door's shut. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do this. I'm gonna go ahead and just install this. There we go. Door handle's on, it works. It's actually a nice door handle. Now we'll put the roof on. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna take all of these cables, and they're normally draped in, you wanna drape them out. There's this channel inside the roof. That's where the roof is gonna sit. So now grab the roof. It tells you which side's the front, and you set it into this nice little channel here. Boom, just like that. Roof's on. This is gonna be our cable that actually plugs into the wall. So we're gonna put that off to the back here. And now you just walk around and you just connect it. Connect all of the pieces. We'll pull everything back in so we can do that, and then we'll start connecting. And then there's a cover that goes on top of this too, so you don't have to actually see all of the wiring, which is nice. So now we just walk around and find, a lot of them are labeled, which is cool. So we got like load A, heater A, load A, heater A. So I got 2 A's. So I'm just gonna find one that looks like it goes in and connect it. Those in there. This one's already connected. This is my antenna. No handling placed directly. So this just goes up here. This just stays in here. Alrighty then. So heater B, this looks like it goes there. Boop. And then this goes into here. Heater C, boom. So that looks like the heaters, speaker, and control. So once you have all of the main heaters plugged in, look for your control, and then make sure it's connected into control so you can control everything. Wrap that around, and then here's speaker and here's speaker. Connect to those, and that should be everything. Have all of your heaters connected, and then have all of your controls and your speakers connected, and then have your wiring inside here. That looks good. And now we can put the lid on. Lid just goes on top of the whole thing. You don't have to screw it down unless you really, really want to, but it just covers everything up. This box pokes out so that it has plenty of airflow. And then this is where the main power cord is going to come out of. I'm gonna grab some scissors. Grab some scissors, clip that, and then we're going to pull this through this little hole. It's a pretty long cord, so it gives you a lot of flexibility with where you want this thing. And then boom, boom shakalaka, done. So the lid's done, the door is done, everything's on. Like I could just plug it in and turn it on, but the last thing I want to do is install our red light panel. And that just goes right in here with these 2 little rivets it came with. So you're gonna end up getting 2 of these. There should be a little rubber spacer on there, and then it should come with 2 additional rubber spacers. And then what we'll do is we'll grab our red light panel, put one, I always start at the top, put one through, and then set this off to the side for a sec. Again, everything's easier with a friend. I love the challenge of doing stuff on my own when I can. We're going to match this up, screw the top in, get it started. So now that's on, we'll do the bottom. There we go, get it screwed in. Want it at least tight enough to where it won't fall off. And now we're on. Red light panel's on. Now we just gotta connect it with this cable right here at the bottom. Boom, and then there's a safety that keeps it locked in. We're done. We are assembled, guys. Now let's fire it up. So now everything is built, everything is installed. Let's go ahead and plug it in. So I'm just gonna plug in the power cord here to this outlet. Boom, we're plugged in. This thing's super lightweight. I can move it anywhere I want to. I can just slide it around, which is cool. And we are officially plugged in and we are turned on. If everything's working correctly, let's just make sure this, yeah, fires on. So you'll notice you have 2 different power switches on your red light. We'll get to that in a second, but you are gonna wanna make sure that both of those work, as well as the display inside. Boom, baby. We are officially on. Now, let's talk about it. All right, so let's do a full recap here, or maybe you skipped ahead, you didn't wanna see the setup. My name is David Moss Jr. This is the SaunaBox Solara. It is a full spectrum, low EMF infrared sauna built for smaller spaces. At time of recording this video, they are currently in pre-order, and if you do want to get one, there will be a link down in the description below that might save you a little bit of money if you do decide to go this route. A couple high-level points that I want to point out is this is made out of 100% Canadian hemlock. It is advertised as low EMF, which we will test that today. Not only is this a full spectrum infrared sauna, but it also has medical grade red light therapy built in, as well as Bluetooth audio so you can listen to your favorite music while keeping your phone outside the sauna. If you can't tell from the video, the front glass is also reflective, so it will give you a level of privacy while you're inside the sauna. And it does come with a 1-year warranty. A few things that I personally want to point out. One, this is made for small spaces. It's extremely compact. Like, I'm 6'1" and this thing is pretty much up to my shoulder. So if you live in an apartment or you're somewhere that's not your permanent residence, this could be a great sauna for you to invest in for that space, knowing that it takes less than 30 minutes to install and disassemble. It's very lightweight and easy to move. And a big one, this is plug and play. You just plug it right into any household outlet and you have a sauna in your home. Another thing to point out is SaunaBox is known for having affordable hot options. They started out with the portable steam options, and now they've expanded into the full spectrum infrared sauna space. And the reason I point that out is it's nice to have a brand that has a track record, which means they also have a team. So if you ever have any questions or need some help in the future, you've got a company that should be there to stand behind you. And then last but not least, as far as the high-level specs go, currently at time of recording this video, it is listed at $29.99. And once again, there will be a link down in the description below that you can use. Now let's dig a little deeper into the specs to decide if this is a sauna you should consider for yourself or not. I know I've pointed out that this is a compact sauna, but I do want to give you the exact measurements in my space. I have it set up now, so let's go ahead and get those measurements for you. From the wall, you're looking at under 38 inches, and there are no cables on the back, so you can push this flat against the wall. There's actually no cables along any side of this sauna. The power plug actually comes out the top. So depending on where you have your power cord, you can put this right into a corner or against a wall, which is really, really nice. So once again, the depth is just under 38. It's actually 37.5 inches. So it's just under 3 feet 2 inches in depth. As far as the width goes, we're looking at 35.5 inches. So just under 3 feet in width. And then from the ground all the way to the tippy top, we're looking at 63.5 inches. So that's 5 feet 3.5 inches off the ground. Just to reiterate, it is an extremely small and compact sauna, which packs a punch. Now let's look at the inside. Oh my gosh, it's already hot in here. So I just turned the sauna on for the lighting and it's already 99 degrees. Guys, that's really hot because it's 72 degrees in my house right now. I've only had this thing on for less than 5 minutes. That's already impressive. I should have done a time trial on this, but that's impressive. When we get inside here, the bench itself, from wall to wall, it's 2 feet 6 inches in width. So it's a little wider than a standard one-person sauna, which is nice. Me and my wife might be able to sit in here together and get a sauna session if we decided to do so, which is nice because there are some smaller saunas on the market that are advertised as single-person saunas, which is great. This gives just a little bit more room for people with wider shoulders, or if you're a wider person, or if you're two smaller people, you could fit in here together. And then inside from the floor to the roof, it's definitely not a sauna you're gonna be standing up in. We're looking at about 4 feet 12 inches to get in there. And once again, when you're getting in, this is a sauna you're gonna be ducking into and then sitting down. But I will say this, first impressions of getting in here, not claustrophobic at all. There's actually more room in here than I thought, and there's plenty of room for my arms to spread out and get really, really comfortable. Well, now let's go ahead and test the EMFs. I know there's a lot of people who are really concerned about EMFs, and we've got our trusty little EMF reader. So let's see what the EF is in this sauna. So where you're gonna be sitting, it goes up into the green a little bit, but it's still deemed safe. Is it an ultra low EMF sauna? Well, I've never really been in one that's not an ultra low EMF sauna, so I'd say it's pretty safe, but that's obviously always up to you. Well, now let's actually get in this thing and talk about it. So, first experience of getting into this sauna, there's a lot more room in here than I expected. I really thought when they sent an ultra compact, ultra low EMF entry level price for a sauna like this, I was a little concerned that it was gonna be really, really small. I was also concerned with how it was gonna look. And to me, even my wife said it best. She said, that thing is actually really cute. It looks nice because it has black on the outside, but it is 100% Canadian hemlock. So you do have that hemlock feel inside the sauna, which is really, really nice. It just gives you that traditional sauna feel. The glass is reflective, so if I'm in here and I'm having my own sauna session and people are walking by, we're not like a fishbowl, they're not gonna directly get to see me. It is a little bit reflective. But more importantly, let's talk about the room inside. So there's a lot of room for me and my shoulders in here. Like my shoulders can expand out. I have the sauna on right now, so everything's hot and everything is on, but it can get really, really comfortable in here. There's a lot of panels going on in here too. We've got 2 front panels that go all the way from the floor all the way up, so you have expansive heat coming from around your entire body from inside the sauna. Then you have a taller panel from the seat up to about where my head is gonna be on both sides here. You have 2 massive panels across your back with a pretty ergonomic and comfortable backrest, and then you have calf heaters as well. So once the door is closed, these heaters are gonna do their job and they're gonna heat the sauna pretty fast because there's not a lot of room up top for a lot of the hot air to flow to. And you gotta remember, when you're getting in a full spectrum infrared sauna, the ambient temperature inside the sauna isn't gonna typically break 150 to 170 degrees. And that's okay. Infrared actually heats you up from the inside, whereas traditional saunas heat you up from the outside. Both are great. This is just a little less intense, but you're still able to get a very therapeutic sauna experience and detoxification experience from inside this sauna. And then you double that down with a medical grade red light panel. We've got our red light and we have our near infrared light. Both of these have different benefits. I have videos on red light therapy that go into the great detail. It could be a long video, so I don't want to talk too much about it. But I do like the fact that it's able to hit me right where my body is. And obviously when I'm in the sauna, I'm gonna have my shirt off and I'm gonna get that red light right on my skin, which is gonna supercharge my mitochondria and give me all sorts of wonderful anti-inflammatory benefits. I would have liked to have the red light panel in front of my face because I'm a big believer in red light therapy on the face. I would personally have liked to have it here, but it is nice to have it, and because there is enough room, I can get down here and actually have the red light hitting me on my face and on my chest, which is really, really nice. Now, is it a full body red light panel? No. Is there gonna be some benefits from this red light therapy panel? Yes, which is great, but I wouldn't be buying this sauna for that alone. Now let's talk about operations. And for that, I'm just gonna take the camera in here with me. All right, so here we are. This is the operation panel. It's already 109 degrees in here with the door wide open, which is pretty impressive. So it's pretty easy touchscreen operation. You literally just touch the light button to turn it off, turn it back on again. There's not a bunch of different color lighting, which is totally fine. You can pair your phone to listen to your favorite music in here. There is a Bluetooth speaker, which is nice. And then you can control it from in here as well. Volume, track, and then obviously start and stop. Then you have the temperature and the time. Now this can only set to 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Once again, like I mentioned, a full spectrum infrared sauna is gonna feel a lot different at 150 degrees than getting into a traditional sauna at 150 degrees. If you haven't experienced it, it's definitely one that you should explore. And I do have some videos on my channel that go through the differences between traditional and infrared saunas if you need a little bit more information before making a decision. There's also a charger in here. I don't know how useful that's gonna be. I try to not bring technology in the sauna with me, but I guess if you had a pretty long cord and you wanted to have your phone on the floor, that could work, but I try to keep technology out of the saunas personally when I'm using them. But that is an option if it's something you want to do. And then up here on the roof, we have our Bluetooth speaker, our light, our sensor for the temperature, and then this is a little vent back here to allow fresh air to flow in and out. A lot of people like to keep that closed. I personally like to leave it open because I don't like breathing stale air. So for me, I always leave my vent open so I can keep some fresh air flowing through my sauna. You can also just open the door when you need some fresh air. There's quite a bit of room in here for the feet, and I want to also talk about the red light panel use. So some people get these and they get overwhelmed. They're thinking they can change the light color or not. This has a specific wavelength that's been fine-tuned for our skin and our body to allow us to get the maximum benefits from a red light panel. So when you turn on red, that's gonna produce a visible red light. But what happens if we turn that off and turn on the NIR, near infrared light? You actually may not even be able to see it. You can kind of see it at different angles, but that is near infrared. It's a different wavelength of light that we can't really see, but our body can absolutely feel. And there's different benefits for both. What I always recommend is putting both of them on at the same time so you can experience that. And this does come with goggles. If the light's a little intense for your eyes, you can put the goggles on and cover your eyes if that's something that you need. But as far as using this, all you do is use these 2 power buttons at the top. Two, 10 minutes. All right, so while I'm in here, 10 minutes, it hovered around 146 to 148 degrees, which is good. And here's the end result. I am sweating, I think. I'm definitely sweating. So I am sweating. So while I'm in there, you know, the greatest thing to do in one of these saunas is to grab a book. You can use your phone or an iPad, but because of the heat and the infrared, it will heat up the electronics in there. So I would say grab a book and just like get lost in that book. Like that 10 minutes went really, really fast, which was great. A couple other things to note about it. It was very comfortable. Like the sides were comfortable. Nothing got too hot. I have been in saunas where the sides, like the actual panels, like if your skin touches it, gets hot and can burn you. I did not feel like it was burning me at all, which was great. But a few things to note, if you are an experienced sauna goer, this probably isn't the right sauna for you. Maxing out at 149, 150 degrees Fahrenheit is good enough to obviously break a sweat and detox, but you will want to be in there a little longer than obviously a much hotter sauna. Now, with that being said, this is a great starter sauna for somebody who lives in an apartment or has a small space and they just want their own sauna that they can spend some time detoxing it. If you're experienced with sauna, if you have your own personal home that's your permanent residence and you have a larger budget, this might not be the sauna I would recommend. But for anybody who's getting started in sauna, I would highly recommend this over any of the Amazon saunas, even some of the saunas that I have done little DIY hacks on. They're all pretty much the same price now. There's not a lot of cheaper saunas than this when it comes to full spectrum infrared. Now there are different levels of infrared sauna and some of those might be a little bit cheaper, but going back to some of the things I mentioned in this review, having a company like SaunaBox standing behind the product with a resume of building good quality products that a lot of people have purchased is a bonus. Having a 1-year warranty is a plus. There's a lot of pros to this sauna and it looks really, really cool. So if you're someone out there who's just getting started on their sauna journey, I would recommend you step over the steam saunas and do something like this. You're gonna get more of the traditional sauna benefits from a sauna like this. But if you are an experienced sauna goer and you're contemplating between getting this and a permanent structure, something that can reach temperatures over 180 degrees, if it's in the budget, I would say maybe consider going a more expensive route with a hotter sauna. But that's the great thing about the wellness space. There's so many great options out there. And my job and my goal is to bring the greatest options to you. So that's my opinion. What's yours? After seeing the review of the Solara from SaunaBox, what are your opinions of the sauna? Is this a sauna you would consider? Do you want to purchase one for yourself? If so, there's a link down in the description below that you can use. It helps support the channel, which is always appreciated. Or do you have a question that you want me to ask the founders of SaunaBox? Or is there a suggestion that you have for them? Or is there another product that you think I should be looking at? Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that fun YouTube stuff to help the algorithm out, help me get seen by more people, help more people who are looking for content like this be able to find it. But even if you don't, I want you to know that I appreciate you so much for watching all the way to the end. It means the world to me. I'll see you guys over on the next video, which I'm gonna have a couple videos pop up on screen. So click on whichever one tickles your fancy the most, and I'll see you over there. Have a great day, my friends, and God bless.